Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, hosts of Live with Kelly and Mark, share a significant portion of their lives with the public. In addition to entering the entertainment business as performers, they also keep attempting to make people's days better by delving into their personal lives. However, Kelly grows weary of certain trolls and their persistent resistance. She silenced her detractors by asking them to get a life and calm down. Kelly Ripa makes an effort to tread carefully. Kelly Ripa acknowledges that she could have touched on a contentious subject during their attempt to uplift their audience before Thanksgiving on Live with Kelly and Mark. She had no notion that she was openly criticizing a subject that was close to some people's hearts when she brought up one well-known viewpoint. She admits that Thanksgiving is viewed differently in different parts of the United States. Although she is aware that everyone has different tastes, she gently suggested using Yukon Golds, even when giving her recipe for mashed potatoes. She was unaware of the depth of the long-standing dispute between stuffing and dressing, though, until the concert was over. Kelly clarified the distinction between stuffing and dressing on Monday, November 25. Accordingly, she claims that the reason why individuals use stuffing or dressing varies depending on where in the nation they reside. Mark said that he didn't know the difference as well. Kelly goes on to remark that when Northeasterners offer stuffing, Southerners politely say dressing. It was the same thing, but the regional dialects simply use different words, she remarked. She received a lot of criticism for her justification, though. Kelly Ripa dispels mysteries. Kelly Ripa became aware of how fervent individuals are about their stuffing and dressing after receiving feedback from a large number of live viewers. She went into greater detail on the Tuesday show in an effort to provide clarification. "I just read an article yesterday that I didn't write," she says. "So, don't shoot the messenger," Kelly continues. Kelly informs followers that she was physically assaulted for her preconceived notions, saying, "But the messenger was attacked viciously. I discussed the distinction between dressing and stuffing. I mean, don't bring up politics. The arguments over dressing and stuffing constitute the true debate." She unwittingly sparked a debate about the subject. "But you at home, told me that I, Kelly Ripa, am wrong again," she says. However, after looking over the comments, she acknowledges that there was a mistake. She added that she doesn't take into account ones on social media since their criticism is too severe. In addition, Kelly cynically remarks, "Thank you for putting me right, America." They rain a number of explanations of the distinction, which ultimately came down to the following. Stuffing is what goes inside the turkey. If it doesn't go inside the turkey, it's dressing if it's on the side. According to some on the internet who have a lot of time on their hands, the statement read, "She wants her critics to get a life and calm down." But Kelly Ripa is tired of being told what to do by trolls. "Basically, I'm going to say something. Get a life, honestly," she says. "Get one, please. Relax." She also says that individuals should concentrate their efforts on much bigger problems. "Congratulations, you don't have real problems if you're worried about this," she says. How do you feel about the famous argument between dressing and stuffing? Do you agree with Kelly Ripa that people should stop worrying and live their lives? Do you like watching Kelly and Mark live? What is the name of the hotly contested side dish? When you've spent over 2 decades on live television, you grow a thick skin. But Kelly Ripa, queen of morning banter and the heart of Live with Kelly and Mark, has never been one to keep her thoughts bottled up, especially when critics come for her husband Mark Consuelos, or the show they've built together. This week, Ripa found herself the center of yet another internet firestorm. And her response? A classic Kelly cocktail. Equal parts humor, sass, and razor-sharp truth. She had just 3 words for her critics: calm down, and, oh yes, get a life. The backlash that sparked it. It all started innocently enough. On a Monday morning broadcast, Kelly shared a personal anecdote about her weekend. A story involving her family, a spilled cocktail, and a comically disastrous attempt at DIY furniture repair. The tale was lighthearted, but within hours, social media was ablaze with criticism. Some accused her of being out of touch. Others claimed she overshares. A few armchair commentators even decided to psychoanalyze her marriage based on a 2-minute exchange with Mark. It wasn't new territory. Kelly's candidness has long been both her greatest strength and her critics' favorite target. But this time, the commentary snowballed fast enough that producers briefed her about the online noise before Tuesday's show. Kelly's response? She laughed. And then she came out swinging. Kelly fires back. When the Tuesday morning audience clapped her onto the stage, Kelly wasted no time. She looked directly into the camera, her signature smirk tugging at the corners of her mouth. Apparently, she began, some people had a lot of feelings about my little weekend story yesterday. And to those people, I say this with love. Calm down. Seriously. Calm down. The studio erupted in laughter. Mark, seated beside her, raised an eyebrow and added, I told her to ignore it, but you know Kelly. She leaned back dramatically in her chair, pretending to sip invisible tea. Ignore it? Me? Not when people are acting like I caused a global crisis because I said my husband used a butter knife as a screwdriver. Then with a playful shrug, she dropped the Mick moment. Get a life. I mean it. Get one. Borrow mine if you need to. It's clearly more entertaining than yours. The audience roared. Clips went viral within hours. By noon, Kelly, Ripa, and Calm Down were trending side by side on X. Critics versus Kelly. Of course, her retort only fueled the discourse. Some fans applauded her candor. Finally, someone tells the trolls off. Others doubled down, calling her dismissive. But Kelly, ever the seasoned pro, knows exactly what she's doing. Her philosophy has always been clear. Morning television is about connection, not perfection. She's not there to present a carefully sanitized version of herself. She's there to laugh at life's absurdities, and sometimes at herself. As one longtime viewer tweeted, Kelly Ripa saying, get a life, on live TV is the energy I'm taking with me into the rest of the year. Mark joins the fun. Mark Consuelos, never one to let his wife spar alone, jumped in with his own commentary. On Wednesday's episode, as they revisited the story, he deadpanned, Honey, I've been married to you for almost 30 years. If people think this is oversharing, I've got news for them. They haven't heard anything yet. Kelly laughed so hard she nearly spilled her coffee. Then she gestured to the cameras. See, that's why I tell these stories, because he's sitting right here, living them with me. If he's not upset, nobody else should be either. Mark, with a grin, added, also, for the record, the butter knife worked. The chair's fixed. The audience reacts. Inside the studio, fans loved every second. During commercial breaks, audience members reportedly shouted support, telling Kelly to never change and keep telling it like it is. Producers later shared that ticket requests spiked midweek, with people eager to witness more of Kelly's unscripted fire. One woman leaving the taping told reporters outside, That's why I watch. She's real. If people don't like it, they can turn the channel. But clearly, they don't, because they're watching just to complain. Social media storm. On TikTok, users stitched together montages of Kelly saying, calm down in various tones, from sarcastic to sincere. Memes popped up overnight. Kelly in sunglasses with the caption, Get a life, darling. A few creative fans even started selling t-shirts online with the phrase, calm down, Kelly said so. Meanwhile, Instagram fan pages dedicated to LIV flooded the comments with supportive notes. Kelly, you're the only reason mornings are fun. You tell them, Queen. Butter knife DIY forever. The bigger picture. Kelly's clapback wasn't just about defending herself. It was a reminder of how public figures, especially women in media, are scrutinized for every word, every facial expression, every anecdote. People act like I don't know what I'm saying, she explained later in the week. Trust me, I know. I've been doing this a long time. If I wanted to sit here and read cue cards like a robot, I'd do that. But that's not who I am. If you want a perfect Stepford host, I'm not your girl, and I'm okay with that. The studio audience broke into applause. Mark reached across the desk and squeezed her hand, mouthing, "That's my wife." The critics stay loud, but Kelly stays louder. By Friday, the frenzy had cooled. The online critics had moved on to another celebrity scandal, as they always do. But Kelly's moment lingered in the cultural conversation, precisely because she didn't shrink from it. For her, the answer is always to lean in, laugh, and remind people that real life is messy. And that's exactly why people tune in to Live. In fact, ratings for the week showed a notable bump, with Wednesday's episode drawing the show's largest midweek audience in months. One entertainment columnist summed it up best. Kelly Ripa doesn't just co-host a show, she is the show. And when she tells you to calm down, you listen. Looking ahead, producers are already brainstorming ways to spin the viral moment into future segments. There's talk of a recurring Calm Down corner, where Kelly and Mark address the week's most overblown internet controversies. Kelly, never one to waste a good bit, seems game. "I'll happily tell America to calm down every day if it helps," she joked on Thursday. "It's cheaper than therapy." For now, though, she's content to keep doing what she's always done. Sitting at that desk, coffee mug in hand, and starting America's morning with honesty, laughter, and the occasional butter knife repair story.